You've heard from a couple leaders this morning, and we have a very special leader here that we'd like to have come up, our Mayor Jim Gray. And we want to thank you very, very much for being on the trip with us and for your insight. So, Mayor Gray.
I went to shake Dave's hand. I said, "Don't run off," because I want to sort of just sandwich in on a few of the things that you said already. You know, Dave's theme was all about, what did he say? All about making a place special and unique, and sense of place, leveraging that sense of place. You know, I think that seems to be a theme that is crossing America today in cities. And as we were driving in today, how many of y'all were, I was on the bus with Danny, that was bus one, okay, how many of y'all were on that bus one with me? Okay, so we came in, we entered the city from the airport, you know, some very nice quarters, city of Omaha, right there as we came into on the street. And then on the corners, they were lined, the interiors of the streets, the median was lined with, it looked like to me, crab apples. I'm not sure what they were, but they looked like crab apples to me. And then you could see the city, the skyline of the city as we're coming in. And then we passed CenturyLink Arena, looked pretty cool. And then the Jocelyn Art Museum, pretty cool. And then we hit Dodge Street, finally some potholes. I was really happy to see that you all have some of the same challenges that we have in Lexington. But, you know, I've been to Omaha, I think, once before, but I don't have much of a memory of it, and perhaps some others in the room are the same way. We know that we're going to get more of a memory this time of it. I want to quickly just thank everybody for being here. In my role, I learned especially to remember to thank our council members as well. That's a very big deal. And council members, Steve Kay and Chuck Ellinger are here, council members at large. And then Harry Clark is here, Diane Lawless, and George Myers are here. And I especially want to thank them because we always learn from these trips. The committees that all of us are engaged on within the city, within the fabric of the city government, have a lot of influence on all that, you know, ultimately all that the city does. So thank you guys for being here. Other council members couldn't make it this year. What's good is that I missed somebody, Siobhan. Oh my goodness, I knew Siobhan. I thought I'd already said your name, Siobhan. Forgive me. And she's new too. So that means she's also very passionate and very determined right now on a lot of different projects, and that's a big deal. Alan Stein's already been recognized. Alan, you know, when I think of the word cheerleader and carnival barker for a city, I think of Alan Stein. It's a big deal. Well, Commerce Lexington, you all always do a great job of putting this trip on, and it demonstrates to all of you coming here, just like David said, the largest, perhaps, it seems like we hear that every year, wherever we go, perhaps the largest delegation that a city receives from another city. And we heard that last year in San Antonio. But it demonstrates that Lexington is an ambitious city, a city that's open to ideas that can improve what's already a great city, a great place to live. Of course, it's the perfect time to be in Omaha, asking questions and thinking about what would translate into Lexington. Because Lexington itself, we're going through transformation. We're examining where we are. Now, fortunately, we put ourselves, in the last few years, we put ourselves back on solid financial ground. Really for the first time in a generation. Now, the reason that I mention that is not to pat myself on the back, or the council, or anybody particular. But why is it that it's important? Well, first, what is it that we've actually been able to accomplish? Through collective bargaining, we've saved $10 million. Through health insurance reform, more than $10 million a year. Through pension reform, is recognized as one of the leading pension reforms in the country. We've saved at least $12 million a year. Since the lowest point of the recession in 2009, we have added more than 10,000 jobs in our city, bringing us to a total within Fayette County, not including the region, which is also real important, but within Fayette County, 225,000 jobs. That's the highest ever. But even with this, you all know that Lexington will not ever be complacent. So today it's safe for us to think aspirationally again. And we're planning today for what Lexington can become tomorrow. You all know about the plans for and the work that's being done on the Rupp Arena Arts and Entertainment District. Perfect time for us to see what's been done in another city with the same resources, equivalent resources. Not necessarily, when I say equivalent resources, I should say equivalent opportunities. Challenging the resources, big deal. We've already invested $5 million, state funding, private funding, and city funding for the Rupp District. That work is underway. Some of the best consultants in the world are involved in this project today. What's it doing? It's taking untapped resource. 46 acres of parking lots today in our city, and turning that into a world-class, compelling place, what David was talking about, for all of our citizens to enjoy. You've heard about, perhaps read about, maybe you participated in public conversations related to the Town Branch Commons. And what's the opportunity there? To restore and bring our authentic, unique water source back into our city, through our downtown, creating a surprising and compelling, extraordinary Central Park, wrapped by extraordinary opportunities for infill and development. Just what you'll see in Omaha, just what we saw last year in San Antonio, and why is it important? It's important because it brings jobs and opportunities, just what David was saying, by creating that special place where people want to be. They will move, they will be there. Now, I always say, when we hear about all of what's going on in the city, sometimes folks will say, it's confusing. It's like there's lots of plans. There's lots of stuff that people are talking about. It's really not a bunch of projects. It's really one project. It's all the same project. Gary Means, I see him smiling right there. He's ready to open a restored parking structure in the center of our city that is going to be pretty extraordinary. It is going to be not just a parking garage, but a piece of art, in a sense, that will add to the vitality that David was just talking about. So what's the connecting thread? This is all about what we're doing and what Omaha is doing. It's all about creating places for families to enjoy with a powerful gravitational pull for talent and investment. And the connecting thread, we are building a great American city. We have all of the elements. A great university, great universities, plural, anchored by a great university. Susan right here. Yes, ma'am. On one side of town, we have the original university, Transylvania. And on the other side of town, the great university, the University of Kentucky. And President Julian is here today, BCTC, which itself is moving in a transformational way into our urban space. And we have all the elements that include a determined group of citizens, all of you in this room and more, who know how to make things happen, who can see what it can be. I love quoting, as I'm turning the bend to close here myself, I love quoting Tracy Whitley, the Chief Operating Officer. Laura, I see you smiling. The Chief Operating Officer of Bingham & Cutcher, who, when Jenna and Kimberly and I were having dinner with Tracy the night that they announced moving to Lexington, said, well, so what made the difference between Lexington and Kansas City and Dodge City? What was it? It was not Dodge City. It was, I'm not supposed to say what it was. You know how that is, Dave. What made the difference? And she said, well, I can put it in one word: optimism. Optimism. And of course, there's more than just being optimistic. It's being realistic about what we can do and how we're going to get there. But there's so much in that. So we appreciate learning from all of our new friends in Omaha. Let's learn from what they've accomplished, and then we'll take back what we can and translate it into what is, as you said, David, authentic and unique and special about Lexington, because we can't just duplicate, and we can't just replicate, and we can't just copy. We have to do it on our own. So thanks so much, and it is great to be with you all.